Okay, so hearing hearing you guys' music is got to be the craziest story ever of my life of how I was introduced to the music of the Heritage, right? Because it started with a dog. All right, I want to go find. My wife and I talked about finding a protection dog. We found this group in outside of Aiken, South Carolina. That's what it said, the address, right? And said there's this place you can go and find these dogs, and there are these beautiful German shepherds that are trained to kind of protect the family, great pets, protect the family. Thought, okay, it's a time to do this. So we're going to look at this place and going to look for these dogs. So I get there and I meet the people who run the place, and one of the guys, uh, his name is Bill,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's cool.
Bill.
Love him.
And Bill comes out, and we're talking, and Bill. Let's describe Bill, like what he looks like. Like he looks like he just walked out of Gold's Gym, right? He's like this,
Yeah,
like just
huge.
he'll be just big. I mean, just like big dude, about my height, but like could just destroy me quickly. Feels like just like big, like muscular guy, and he's kind of sizing me up. I can tell he's sizing me up with this thing, like, and I'll never forget. He said, "I looked you up," and I was like, "You did?" He's like, "Yeah, I looked you up," and he said, I like your music. I know your music." And I was like, "You did really? That's nice. Well, nice to meet you." I'm talking to him, and he's like, and quickly. I mean, it wasn't too. We hadn't gotten in 5 minutes of talking. He's like, "You need to hear the band at my church." And I can't really do his accent. It's a pretty strong Southern accent.
Chris, you really gotta hear the voice of my church.
That's exactly
gotta hear.
that's exactly how it
Kind
sounded.
of Cajun.
Yeah,
But he's
yeah.
not Cajun.
I don't know what it is. It's just like he's got this accent. He's like, "You should hear the gospel. You should have been in my church." And I'm thinking, I'm out here in the middle of. I mean, we are in the sticks, right? I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure that's what I should do, And I'm just like, okay, and he's really good. He goes, "No, I'm telling you, man, you should hear them. They're really great." So I was like, okay, great. But I don't think I'm not sure he told me what church or anything. Just I left and I was like, okay. So we decided to get the dog, and we fired up, and we love this dog, and we get the dog, and Bill comes to pick the dog up at my house, and they're going to do some more training, some things like that, and he brings this. I have it brought it in my pocket. I'll never forget. He's driven like 10 hours to my house, right?
Yeah.
He pulls up, and he just walks up to my door, and he's just holding this. He's like, "I'm telling you to hear the music of this is my church's band. This is my church's band right here. I want you to hear them." And I was like, I was looking at this, and I was like, I honestly, man, I was like, I didn't have the heart to tell him. I was like, I don't even know what this is. I don't. He's handed it to me. I was like, I'm not sure what this is, and I surely don't have a way to play it. I mean, however you're supposed to use this, I don't know how to do it, and I'm not sure I have anything this would work on. And he said, "That's the new album. That's my band's new. That's our church band's new album. You need to hear it." And I was like, "Okay." So I take it, and I'm uh, just put it on my desk, and that was it, because I don't have anything to play this.
Yeah.
And not thinking I'd hear from Bill again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a few weeks later. He texted me, and he's like, sends me some MP3s this time. This guy is like relentless, and he's like, send me the MP3. He's like, he goes, here's your new big song, and something like that. Here's your new big hit. Here's your new biggest song. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this because this is 3 times now, and this is something I can actually listen to. So I remember I got in my car, I was driving somewhere, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna listen to what he sent me, and it was the song, The Promise. And immediately I thought, oh my goodness, this is like, I mean, who knew Bill knew music this well? I mean, this is amazing. I was thinking this is really, really good, and um, I just kept listening, and I listened over and over. It's like, wow, it hit me different than just so much of the songs that are out there these days. It's like, wow, this feels fresh, feels unique. It feels like it's got a great sound to it. And I hit Bill up immediately. It's like, Bill, bro, this is great, man. This is great. Who are these guys? And he goes, I'm telling. I told you this is my worship leader. But here's the number of my worship leader, and here's the number of the youth pastor. They write these songs together. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to connect with them. I'd love to hear their story and songs, and maybe it's a song or something I could record or something. I was thinking that at that time. And so I sent a text. I think it's to you. The text I first sent was to you, and saying, "Hey, it's Chris. I just heard your music, and it's so good. I love this song, and I would love to chat with you. Love to hear more about what you guys are doing." Crickets. I did not. You did not respond to me.
I'm sick, man.
You say you're sick. It doesn't take much to say, to send a text back, and you were like, I mean, I think it was like a couple weeks, and I was like, well, okay, okay,
That's crazy.
okay, and then I get a text back. Oh, hey man, this is Josh, and sorry it's taking me so long to respond or something like that. And I was like, man, we'd love to connect with you. It's like, great, man, we'd love to. So I would think we set up a call, and I remember calling you and Jacob,
Yeah.
and it was so fun for me because I'd never done it. I've barely never done anything like this. As far as like, I don't know who I'm about to call. I don't know when this FaceTime call or Zoom call, whatever it was, when it comes up, I don't know who's on the end of this. I don't know who they are. I don't know how old they are. I have no idea like what this is. And just want to talk to them about the music. And then you and Jacob sitting there on that sofa, and I was like, okay. And just started chatting. It's like, and we started talking about the music. And I was like, at that point, I was like, man, this is something I might want to record. I might want to record this song. I love it. And you were like, awesome, great. And I was like, do you have more stuff? And you're like, yeah. And I remember you sent me more music. And I started listening to music. And immediately I was like, okay, every song's amazing. This is so good. And you guys we need to get this music out to the world. People need to hear this. And y'all need to make this record. No, I don't need to record this. You need to record this. And yeah, I know you'd already recorded, but like, how do we get this out in a bigger way, right? How do we get this in the store? So I just remember I was like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. And it's like we had another call. It's like, would y'all be interested in us figuring out how to get it out in a bigger way? And here we are, sitting here today, and people are going to start discovering your music and start hearing your music. And I know your church already loves it and your community, but people hearing it in such a wider way is going to be so special. And I think that I'm so excited for people to hear this music because what I've loved about you guys is just the pure of heart. I mean, I just sense like a real people will feel it in the music, but it's coming from such a pure place to just want to serve the church and serve, and that's been in your heart from the very first conversations I've had with you. It's like, man, we're worship leaders here in our church out here in South Carolina, in this small town, right? And God's doing amazing things in this church, and we're just writing songs, and I just love that. It reminded me a lot of myself. It reminded me a lot of myself, just coming from a small town in Texas, and just really wanting to serve the church, really wanting to write songs that would honor God and people worshipped, and would never have dreamed that God would have used the songs like He has over the years. And I feel the same thing for you guys. I feel like this could be the start of something amazing, and people hearing your music because I love that you've been doing it for a while. It's not like, hey, we want to form a worship band so we can tour and be. It's never been that. It wasn't that from the start for you guys, and I love that. And for people to hear your music, it's gonna be so special. And who would have ever thought it would have started with a German Shepherd, trying to find a German Shepherd for my family? But I think God works in crazy, crazy ways. And I look back, it's like, wow, this is a crazy one.
A year ago today, we recorded the record
Really?
that you're talking about, that you found from Bill.
Right here.
Yeah, that you've got right there. Yeah, that USB drive was recorded a year ago today at our church, and me and Jacob, the youth pastor at our church, we got together and just started writing worship songs on the calendar. We ended up recording those 8 of those songs last September, and the night was so special. It was like supernatural. People singing along to songs they've heard once or maybe no times at all. And it felt like, what is happening? Like this is special. These people are worshiping
Mm.
with all they have. The room's full, but it's full of praise. It's not just, full of bodies. It was special. Fast forward that fall, we started releasing some singles, and then, just independently with our buddy Cam. Shout out to Cam, helping us, put it together independently and make sure that stuff's in order to get the music out.
Yeah.
And we started doing some singles, and then we'll fast forward to February. I've got the flu, and Bill texts me. He's like, "Hey man, I just really felt like I was supposed to. Sing this song to Chris."
Totally.
It's so crazy. I love you, Bill. I feel like I need to send the promise to Chris. So he sends it over this USB drive, and but some time had passed, and he was like, "I'm going to send an MP3," or I haven't heard back from him. I feel like I really need to send the one song. So he texted me and Jacob. He said, "Hey boys, Chris I got a text back from Chris. I felt like I was supposed to send the promise. He listened to it, and he said, 'Wow, Bill, I love this. Give me their contact. I'd like to just encourage him.'" And then I get that text. I feel horrible. I'm like, man, this right here, Chris Tomlin's supposed to text us or call us, because I don't know if you're going to call or what. And I'm like in the couch, just so sick. I'm like, I hope he doesn't call. Like, I need to be like okay mentally to like respond, because this is amazing. Like, I don't take it lightly. And so anyways, he kind of warns us. 30 minutes to an hour later, you text. And it's like such an encouraging, like, "Hey, I just want to encourage you guys, man. I love that song about the power of the presence, the promise of the Holy Spirit. Like, I just wanted to encourage you guys. I love your music. Love what you're doing." That was crazy to me. I was reading this text, like, oh, frig, dude. Chris Tomlin's texting us, dude. Like, how did he even listen and take the time? Like, I thought that was just amazing. And so I was like, yeah, this is the best day ever. I've got to get well so I can respond something more than like THX, bro. Like, I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, dude, thanks.
Yeah.
See ya, dude, peace. I wanted to like be like, hey man, like, thank you for real. Like, this means a lot, So fast forward, that was like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
He says 2 weeks. It's just a few days.
So the record straight.
It felt like an eternity for me. So I'm sure we both were feeling this way.
Okay.
Yeah. So that Sunday night, I was like, I feel good. I need to sit down and like think about a quick paragraph that actually respond. And so I just was telling him, hey, like, thanks for listening, and your music has impacted my life, as a worship leader and just growing up. My mom was the worship leader, so it's like, I definitely knew who you were. You're texting me, you have no idea who I am. And I'm like, that's so cool, right? But yeah, I was honored that you had texted us. Anyway, responded back, and you're like, hey, let's get on a call soon. So that Wednesday we got on a call, and me and Jacob are like, nervous but excited, like, get to meet, a legend in what we're doing. We love worship music, so we're like, this would be cool, man, just to talk. And we got on the call, and you're so friendly and chill, and just asking us about who we were, what we did at the church. We talked about ministry a little bit, and you asked about the record that we made. And after the call, you're like, send me some more music. And we sent you some more music. We sent you Home.
Home. Buddy, I heard that, and I was like, my goodness.
When we sent you Home, it's our favorite one. We were like, I hope he likes it, because you had already liked the other. And we were like, yeah, this is our favorite. Let's just send that one over next. And we did. And then you sent back maybe the same day. You're like, man, Home is 3 fire emojis. I remembered that because it was so funny to me. Yeah. I was like, dude, 3 fire emojis, man, not 2. We were joking about it. But so we just couldn't believe it. He's listened to another song. He's taken the time to listen to another song. And we were just like, so appreciative. Like, thank you for encouraging us. And because this stuff is not out yet. No. We were just excited that it's connecting with somebody, especially that's in music. After you listen to Home, you're like, let's get on another call. I've got a bigger idea. I've got something better that I think I want to share with you.
That's right.
We got on a call again, maybe the next day or something.
That's right.
And you said, man, I loved The Promise. Now I love Home. I think you could have heard something else after this point, but I think just the two. And you're like, what if you said there's a whole album that you recorded. What if would you be interested in me and Capital backing your record? And we were like, yeah, let's definitely talk more about that. Like we weren't like we didn't want to say yes or no, but
Yeah.
it was like, oh yeah, frick,
Yeah.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we would love to talk about it. Like we've never dreamed that this album done independently would even be considered.
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, your music. When I was hearing it, I was thinking because I remember asking you like, "Is this your first record you made?" You're like, "Yeah." Is this that's your first live? You're at church. Like, yeah. It's like I'm thinking, how in the world does it sound like this? And the songs are this good, and this feels like you guys have been doing it for years and years and years. And so there was something that was just I thought, wow, how special. What it just hit me. Each song was so unique in its own way, but like just grabbed me. That song "Home." I mean, I've played it for so many people now, and when I play it, people are like, "Who is that? And what is that? That is amazing." And so, I'm just I'm so fired up, man, about people hearing this. I mean, who knows what this is all going to go? But again, I just come back to just starting from the right place when it comes to songs of worship. When it comes to what this is about. I always say, it's about ministry. It's not about industry, right? And that's what it is for you guys. And that's where it's got to be. It's got to come from that place. It can't come from, this is not a record label creating something. This has got to come from that real place that's affecting people. And you see it every Sunday, leading the church. And that's what people are going to feel and people are going to sense because we're writing. This music is about helping people connect to God. It's not about how do we build up our brand and build up our name and build up our thing. It's really helping people connect to God. At the end of the day, that's the songs that really have impact, and that's what I heard coming through. When I was just listening. It's like, wow, this feels like this comes from a real place. This isn't come from people trying to pitch something and just create something and make something happen, but it's coming from a real place. And so, man, what an honor to be on this journey. God would put us together, and I love you guys and I'm excited for the world to hear this music.
Yeah, I'm so excited, man. Yeah, we never dreamed that it would be something that like a label would approach us about. The church got behind it financially, and when we mentioned wanting to do a live worship album, and we knew that we may not make the money back. The whole board knew that, and they knew that at worst case scenario, we made something beautiful for God and our local church, and that 800 people could listen to. Like that's what we knew, and we were like, we can do them at church.
That's
and
so great.
This is a wild ride we're on.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and it's just testament, right, to that. I hope people are encouraged too. Maybe someone's out there listening to this who's wondering if I'm in with God ever hear my songs. I'm a songwriter, or like I mean it's an encouragement. It's just a testament, another testimony of like, wow, God does these things. This is the doings of God's Spirit moving and putting people in these places. I'm going to move these pieces. He thought he was going to look for a dog, but I'm gonna have to take him to this place to show him this other, to connect with this people that hope that in some way maybe I could help you get your music out like somebody did for me, years ago. I think it's just a beautiful testimony of God's Spirit and winning this, and He puts the pieces together.
Yeah.
And